Ever remember Boohbah? You know, the TV show about 5 colorful creatures that live in Boo Zone? It was part of my childhood. The show also features dancing segments, along with a skit featuring the story Peopla. Today, my mother was sick, my pet guinea pig, Guinea Poppins, was chilling in her cage, and my other pet Chiweenie, Chuberka, was sleeping with my sick mother. My dad told me that he was going to Walmart, so I gone with him. I had $50 with me. I bought a Lego set based on the Lego Movie 2 called Ultra Kitty and Warrior Lucy, only $31.79. I also need to buy a DVD. That is when I saw a DVD called Boohbah Lost Episode Never Before Seen. The DVD was only $1. That's when a nearby clerk told me, the customer who sold it was extremely upset. He said that he did not want to watch it anymore. I bought it anyway, despite the warnings about the upset customer. When me and my dad went back home, I slammed it into my DVD player. The disc itself didn't have a menu like the others, it just went straight to the intro. Everything was okay at first. The intro was normal, but before any child can call out one of the Boohbahs, it cuts to black. After 5 seconds, a woman's voice, which sounds like Maleficent from the movie of the same name, said something disturbing. Life is not about anything, it is the consequence. I thought that was rather weird for a kids' TV show. It started with Zuma, sitting at the table. He was rather sad and depressed, and he was crying. Not like cartoon crying, but actual real human crying. The crying went on for 10 seconds, until it skipped to another scene. It depicted a rather CGI-looking playground, with a climbing frame which is all wireframe. Whoever made the CGI was rather crap at it. But then a sickening scene appeared. There were 2 children, but they were committing seppuku while looking at the creepy-looking slide. Blood was stained everywhere, along with realistic-looking intestines and organs scattered across the ground. I paused the episode and hurled in the bathroom from this. Then I came back out, pressed play to resume, and the scene cuts to black. The woman's voice can be heard again, but this time she said something different. Life is meaningless. The truth is ... that you're all going to die from a horrifying death. No one understands it. It cuts to static without the static sound. There wasn't any sound, except the nuclear bomb exploding. The picture flashed 10 times. I paused before the next scene and looked at the picture. It was one of the store Peopla, whose face was ripped open. Another store person was there, but she had her arms ripped off and in her mouth. I vomited in the toilet again, returned to the living room, and resumed the episode. After that, a picture of the playground appeared, with the Boohbahs hanging on gallows. Blood was seeping from their necks as they died. Behind them was the houses of the store Peopla on flames, and then the store Peopla from before, but there was a third one who was shot to the ground and it was bleeding. Of course, I vomited yet again, this time in the garbage bag. After 20 seconds, the scene cut to the ending credits, but it was white text on a black background. At the end, instead of the ragdoll logo, there was a Russian text saying something. I paused the video and translated it online. This translates to the following message. Life is not about anything, it is the consequence. Then, I continued the video to see if there is more. Suddenly, the familiar PB's Kids Dash logo played. I recognized it immediately, but it was completely different. It was red, instead of green, and the sound was in G major. Dash looked even worse, at least to me. His eyes were hyper-realistic and dilating. It was like the classic Shitpo's second logo from the Rugrats Lost episode of CreepyPasta. Dash had these saber-sharp teeth. It didn't look Photoshop. It was actually animated. Dash was thinking like in the logo. But he has claws coming out of his fingernails. Worst thing was that he said doing in a very evil voice. He was zoomed out from a bubble that he appeared as usual, as the letters P, B, and S were in a bloody font, with the color of red, on a black thought cloud. The thick shocking pink bars were black, while the white was I turned it off and rang up Ragdoll about the episode. They replied with, we had 237 complaints about this episode. We didn't make an episode like that, because there was a man who worked on it called Jordan Johnson, a friend of Christian Johnson, who went to a playground and committed harakiri. He was a CGI artist, but he never got to re-release the episode on DVD, because progress was halted. When we found out what it was, soon, We will send you a gift to rebuild your childhood. It was, by mistake, sent to the BBC. They aired it without realizing the content. After the episode ended, complaints started ringing in. Parents said it was disturbing for their children, which is worse than the Teletubbies Lion and Bear segment, and BBC aired it one time. Jordan killed himself after the BBC aired it, fearing that life is not about anything and that it is consequence. After hearing this, I recorded the episode to an MP4, posted it on Mediafire, and made a video about it online. The description of the video that I made was the link to the MP4 on Mediafire. I couldn't sleep for the whole night. I'd had nightmares about it for weeks. The next morning, the doorbell rang. I opened the door, looked on the ground, and saw a box from Ragdoll. I picked it up, took it into my room, and opened it. There were toys of the Boohbahs and Teletubbies, VHS tapes of Boohbah and Teletubbies, and a sorry letter. Now my childhood is returning, thanks Ragdoll. After I built my Lego Movie 2 set completely, I went to the laptop, opened up mail, and noticed an email from Michael Jackson Johnson. I clicked on it, and it read, "I feel like I was a CGI artist who was left out. This truth is ... that Jordan and Christian both died in a horrifying death. Someone doesn't understand it, and that someone was none other than Avalon Henry. Now I need to figure out what else went on there.